Hi guys, Starla here with the Handmade Alphas, and today I am finally continuing our Etsy rank series, and I would like to throw in that I was actually updated to a pro membership, so I have the opportunity to show you some of the pro features that will be included if you do choose to pay for that $10 a month upgrade. And let me tell you guys, to me it seems so worth it. It is amazing so far. Quick disclaimer, I was actually gifted this pro membership after Anthony Wolf from Etsy Rank noticed that I created this Etsy Rank series. So, I just wanted to let you know that I did not pay for this membership, but just looking at it, it looks so worth it. And so many of you have told me that you have actually canceled your Marmalade memberships. Now, I'm not like telling anyone to cancel their Marmalade. I still think that Marmalade is, a great resource. But this is just another option if you're trying to make that decision, if you're trying to decide on a tool that you want to be your staple. You can always use both, but I want to give you guys, enough insight into this tool so you can see exactly what this pro membership is going to include. Now, really quick, if you're seeing this video and you did not watch the Etsy Rank Part 1 video, that is going to be linked down below, because ultimately you need to watch the Etsy Rank Part 1 video before you jump into this tutorial. Otherwise, you're going to be missing a lot of tools that we covered in Part 1. And not only that, Part 1 is going to cover the free features that are going to be included, whereas this tutorial is going to be covering a lot of the features that are going to be included in the $10 a month pro membership. And I've noticed a lot of really great things with this pro membership, and just talking to Anthony from Etsy Rank, like, first of all, he seems like a really great guy. He's super down to earth, and he and I are going to be actually meeting in a web chat in a couple weeks. So I'm going to try to see if this, if we can talk him into adding maybe a few more tools into this that could really help the alphas out. So, without further ado, let's jump right into this Etsy Rank tutorial. And as I said, if you need the link to the first video, that's going to be down below. But assuming that you've already watched it, you already know how Etsy Rank works. Hopefully you already have at least a free membership with Etsy Rank. This video is going to go a little bit deeper into some of the tools and how you can use them. All right, so starting out, alphas, this is what I saw right when I logged in to my new pro membership. I love that it even says Etsy Rank Pro right here in the top corner. Super cool. And there is a new tab for Etsy Rank Pro. When you have that account, you're actually going to have an Etsy Rank thing over in the left navigation bar that's going to talk about all of the different features that will be included when you upgrade this account. So this is almost to me like a map that's going to show me what's new, what do I have now that I didn't have before, and how do I use these new tools. All right, guys, so starting out in our dashboard, this is where we started in our last video. Now, in the last video, I had a lot more listings, and that's because Black Friday has come and gone. And let me tell you, I sold out of almost everything for Black Friday, which I had over 70 listings, and now I have 50, which still seems like a lot, but the stock on those listings is really, really low. So had a really great Black Friday for anybody who is wondering. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic Black Friday as well. But let's jump into a few of these features that we're seeing for the first time. And I also noticed that Anthony actually added a few things based on our recommendations from the last video, which is amazing. So thank you to him. He obviously knows his stuff, and I am excited to be able to recommend this tool to you guys. Just pointing out right away, not an affiliate, though he did gift me this Etsy Rank Pro membership so I could share this information with you guys. I'm absolutely not an affiliate of Etsy Rank, but I do want to promote this tool simply because I love it, and I think that it's going to help you guys out a ton. So, looking here, our Christmas countdown obviously is still here. We talked about this a little bit in the last video, but the timer is counting down, so we're not going to go into this tab. If If you missed that, be sure to go into the last video and we talk a little bit more about these keyword ideas for Christmas. We have a new little tool here to add a cool little shortcut for Etsy Rank, something I highly recommend if you're using this tool frequently. So a few more features though that we didn't cover in the last video, something that I was having trouble understanding, and now I'm beginning to understand how it works a little bit more. This spotted on Etsy section right here, we're gonna go ahead and open that up. And what this is basically doing is showing where Etsy Rank Monitor has, found some of your listings on Etsy from the previous day. So these are just a few listings that Etsy has identified for me. And this lets me know that, wow, these listings are doing well. Etsy found them, or Etsy Rank found them. So now we know what this is for. I didn't have any results for it in video 1. So if you find some listings spotted on Etsy, that's fantastic. That means that these listings are doing great. So back on the dashboard, looking at some new features that we have a few little Etsy Rank Pro features. Monitoring terms. We can actually monitor a few terms or keywords that you just kind of want to keep track of how they're doing. So let's go ahead and click this and check it out. Now I have 5 out of 20 keywords entered here. Basically, you're just going to enter some of the keywords that you want to be known for. For me, I've got couples necklace set, dragon necklace, key necklace, key to my heart necklace, skeleton key necklace. You can add these keywords in here and then save those. And from there, you can check out this monitor tab. You can go through the specific terms that you've used and you can see what pages that they are, where they're ranking based on dates. This is just such a useful tool. And honestly, I need to get more keywords in there because currently I only have 5. But if we go through, we can actually look at which listings are ranking for those particular keywords. We can scroll through and see what pages some of these listings are on. For example, this listing, the one that I sell almost every single day, is on page 1, and it's almost always on page 1. So, nothing changes very much there, but we look at a couple of these listings right here, and we can see how they climb and fall. So this is a really useful tool now that we have some keywords entered into the monitoring tool. One thing that it does recommend is that you allow for 48 hours to, kind of collect a few days of data for these keywords, because this isn't going to be super accurate if you enter these keywords and just hop in and begin trying to look at them, because it hasn't had time to really monitor the rank of these products. Another great tool right from the dashboard that we're seeing with this Etsy Rank Pro membership are tracked competitors, which I don't even have that entered, but you can actually enter up to 20 different competitors and enter their shop names. That way you can see how you kind of measure up to those shops. So obviously this is something that I need to fill out later. I don't think I want to do this, where you guys can see it, because I wouldn't want to enter my competitors' names in here, and especially if my competitors are maybe somebody who watches my channel to learn insights. So that's something that I'm probably going to keep private, but this is just another idea. That way when you're looking at your competitors, you can see how you're measuring up to them. Now, not only can you look at your competitor sales, but you can also click through and you have some social reports. This is going to show you how many hearts, Facebook likes, Pinterest followers, pins, Twitter, Instagram. This is going to show you how you measure up to those competitors, and it's really going to show you if you need to up your game. Next up, we have a tag report. This is so useful. Now you can actually enter the name of a shop and they are going to give you a small sample of the tags that they're using, and then you're going to be able to evaluate the competition rate, the demand, and the engagement of the tags that some of your competitors are using. Now tell me that that is not the sneakiest and most awesome thing that you have ever seen. I absolutely love this tool, and once again, this is something that I'm going to be entering, later on after I've turned the camera off. That way I'm not, putting anybody in hot water. I don't want any of my competitors to feel like I'm, showing them to the world, but this is just a great tool for if you have a lot of competitors, and especially competitors that are ranking like really close to you or higher than you, and you just want to investigate what is it that they're doing and get, an insight into what's making them so successful. Next up, something new that I noticed is under listing details. We can now take a look at these tags and you can look at the competition rate of some of these tags. Now, I really love that some of them are highlighted in green, showing us which ones are kind of easier to rank for, the ones that are performing well, the ones that are engaging well. So for this is my listing that sells nearly every single day, and I can see that Couples Dragon right here, if I click on it, I can go into here and see that the competition rate for this product is very low. Now, the demand for this one looks like it's unknown, and it doesn't look like there's enough data here. I'm pretty confident about this product simply because it's on page 1 for most of the search terms that I've tried to rank it for. And not only that, it's selling almost every single day. So I'm not too concerned about this one. Let's try another tag on a different listing and see where it puts us. So I'm going to go ahead and check skeleton key on this listing, which has never really sold very well, which is why I'm kind of curious to open this one up. Now we go over here and we see that that word was in the red because it is a very high competition keyword. Now, the thing that I want to bring up with Anthony from Etsy Rank is that, you know, it's identifying skeleton key by itself as a keyword, but as a long tail keyword, skeleton key necklace, adding the necklace term in there, I actually rank on page 1 for. So though it has a very high competition rate for skeleton key on its own, skeleton key necklace I can almost always rank on page 1 for, simply because I'm incorporating those long tail keywords in. So that's something that we're going to need to chat about later on. But from here we can also see the demand for the product. Skeleton key is in high demand. That is fantastic. That means that there are a lot of people looking for a product like this. Not only that, but we can see the engagement is very high. This means that a lot of people are actively clicking and searching and engaging with products listed under the term skeleton key. So that is all very important. Now, if we look down here at this little graph, we're actually seeing the interest in this search term on Google over time. And usually if things are doing well on Google, if they're being searched frequently on Google, we know that they're probably being searched on Etsy too. So this is always a really good idea to leverage. And I love that this is pulled straight from Google Trends. It keeps you from having to actually go to Google Trends and, you know, look at all of these. It's right on the page, and I absolutely love that. Looking down here, we can also see a few, associated keywords, and we can see some related tags down here along with their competition rate and their demand and engagement, which demand and engagement are two things that are included in the Etsy Rank Pro membership. So before, you weren't able to see what the demand and engagement was for products like this. So we didn't know, we could see that there was a high competition rate for skeleton key, but we didn't know that a lot of people were actively searching for skeleton keys. So this right here is like a secret weapon. And honestly, if you're gonna pay for that pro membership, it should be for this by itself, because this is so valuable. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to check to make sure that there is demand for the keywords that you're using. So now that we know what all of these different colors mean in our actual listing tags, let's take a look at a couple more features. If we go into the shop tab over here down to compare listings, thankfully I am so glad that Anthony from Etsy Rank listened when I told him I wasn't quite understanding how this worked, because he added in this great little photo here to show us exactly what we need to be entering in here. And this is where our listing ID is going to be. So basically when you have it up in your address bar, you are going to copy this little number here and paste it in, and then you're going to be able to compare these different listings. So for me, I want to compare a few listings. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this number right here, click copy, and I'm going to paste it right here. I'm gonna go ahead and do that with a few more listings. Let's add in this one here. This is a newer listing, so obviously it's not going to be doing as well as my bestseller. And then we will do it with one more listing. Next up, we're going to click compare. All right, so we are looking at 3 different listings. I have a dragon set, a wolf set, and a wolf and dragon set. Now, this is a newer listing. This is the second newest, and this is the oldest listing. So let's see how these compare. All 3 have an SEO grade of A. That's fantastic. But look at these views. You can tell that this is a new listing because it only has 119 views, compared to my bestseller, which has 10,000 views. And then next up, we have this listing at 2,855 views. You can also compare the daily views of each product. You can compare the age of the product. So basically how many days that this product has been active. We're going to be able to see how many people have favorited that item and the stock that you have behind that item. Next up, you can see the dates that the product was created, modified, and when it expires. If your products fall into different categories, you can see what different categories are associated with that product. For me, it's always jewelry, necklaces, pendants, but if you create a variety of different types of jewelry, maybe bracelets and earrings, this could be a beneficial tool for you. After that, we look at tags, where those tags fall into that color code. Obviously, these aren't keywords that anyone's searching, therefore there isn't a lot of data behind them. I have kind of an unorthodox way that I do my keywords that I found effective. I don't want to go into it because it might be a little bit confusing for you guys, but basically you're going to be able to see how these compare in competition. So once again, guys, this is the Compare Listings tool. Let's go ahead and check out a few other tools that are now available. So something that we kind of discussed previously was in the Shop tab under Listing Audit, and we're going to perform a listing audit on my bestseller really quick. Something that is super exciting to see is that this listing was spotted on page 1 for the search term skeleton key necklace. So this is one of those features for when you're actually using the monitor tool. Within the listing audit, you're going to see how many sales, your conversion rate, your SEO grade, a lot of what we've already seen before. But then we can scroll down, we can see just some of the content test. We went over this in the last video. Next up, we're going to do a tag analysis of these products. Now, a lot of these features you had before, you had the VIP feature. However, you did not have demand and engagement. So looking here, we see that Couples Necklace Set has relatively low demand, which kind of is contrary to what I've researched on SEO Book, because what I recommend to you guys is search terms that are over 500 but below 5,000, and this one isn't one of my highest ranking terms, but it is getting 656 monthly searches for the long tail keyword Couples Necklace Set. So who knows how that's picking that up, or what it considers low demand. I actually find a lot of success using the term Couples Necklace Set consistently throughout my listings, but this is all subjective, and it's going to depend on the listings and what you're trying to rank for and how this tool is reading them. So looking through here, I really love that you can see which of these terms are engaging. We have very high for best friends, very high for necklace, his and hers. Dragon, which is our VIP word. This is what Etsy is really picking up on. It has very high competition, but the demand and engagement is very high. So these two columns are new. And once again, I feel like these are extremely valuable tools, well worth the $9 a month or $9.99 a month to acquire these two new features. And once again, we can actually scroll down to a breakdown of the keywords that you're using in your tags. And these are not long tail, these are single word keywords that it's looking at, but you can see the competition rate for those as well as the demand and engagement. So in our last video, I told you guys that I wanted to hold off on actually dissecting the tools of Etsy Rank, and today we're going to actually look at some of those, which many of them are available for the free membership. Some of them are going to be paid features, but I really want to focus on all of them today. That way you know how to use them. So let's check out this keyword research here in the rank checker, and obviously I want to look at skeleton key necklace. That's what I want to be known for my shop. Now we're going to click search. Now with this rank checker, you can actually see what page you are on for these specific search terms. So for me, skeleton key necklace, that's the industry that I'm trying to completely dominate. And I am on pages 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, and so on. But you can also look at a few of the top listings from other shops along with the position that those are in. So I am on position 6 for this one. These guys are on position 1 and 2. Now, if I were to go and renew my listings, I would probably bump up to position 1 because generally that's where I sit. I haven't sold this listing today, therefore it's probably bumped down a little bit, but like I said in previous videos, if I were to go and actually click renew that listing and pay the 20 cents, I would end up bumping up simply because I have so much authority in this area, in my SEO, and the consistency that I've used with my keywords and the number of sales that I have acquired for these product listings. Next tab, we have the monitor tab. We kind of talked about that already, where you're going to be spotted on Etsy and you can add in keywords that are going to allow Etsy Rank to monitor you and see if they've, noticed that you've popped up on a page for one of these keywords that you're trying to be ranked for. So this is a really, really helpful tool. Next tool, we once again talked about this previously in the last video. We have our spell checker. This is where we're going to see if there's any spelling errors within your shop. I covered this in the last video and thankfully I fixed all of my spelling errors then. So if you missed that, be sure to watch part 1 of this series. Next up, we have their keyword tool. So let's enter the keyword. Maybe rather than putting in skeleton key necklace, I'm going to actually just type in key. That way I can see some of the keyword and tag ideas that it recommends to me. So let's just type in maybe just key necklace, since that popped up. Looking here, we can see that key necklace has a whole lot of listings on Etsy. And there is an average hearts, average views, average price, $19. Very high competition, but the demand and engagement is very high. So we can look here and see a few of the recommended terms. We can see that there's only really 2 long tail keywords on this page, and I wouldn't use anything other than long tail keywords in my search terms, but we can see that vintage key necklace, it's very high competition with medium demand and very low engagement. So this isn't a term that I would really want to use because it's not really worth it to me, seeing that the competition is high, the demand isn't that great, and the engagement is very, very low. Now, if we were to go up here and click compare keywords though, maybe we wanted to do key necklace and skeleton key necklace. And maybe key to my heart. So we're going to compare these keywords. All right, so looking at these keywords, we can see that key necklace has a very high competition, but it has high demand and very high engagement. Now, unfortunately, skeleton key necklace only has a medium demand, but it has a medium competition rate. This is the importance of using long tail keywords. If you have no idea what that means, you need to watch my SEO for newbies video. I will have that link down below because that's really going to go into the importance of having long tail keywords and what the difference between having 3 keywords or 3 words within a keyword rather than 2 is going to affect your shop and your rank. Not only that, we are seeing a lot less competition when you actually expand the number of words that you're using. More people are just going to mark their products under key necklace than they are skeleton key necklace or key to my heart. So this is just something to keep in mind when you are actually adding your keywords into your product titles and tags. Once again, we have some stats on these: number of listings found, average number of hearts, average views, average price. We can scroll down and check out the Google trend for these words. And then you can also click if you would like to check on the rank checker and the keyword tool for these individual terms. Next up, we have the category tool, which is super cool. So, you could talk about the item that it is that you're trying to sell. For me, maybe I could put in key necklace. And this is going to show you recommended categories for the type of product that you have. Now, I already know that mine's going to fall into jewelry, necklaces, and pendants, but if you are unsure of what category that you want to use when you are filling out this area right here, this may be a great tool for you because it's going to show you multiple ideas that you could use for the type of product that you currently are trying to sell. Another really cool tool that I love is this color thesaurus. So this is going to give you some really cool ideas in terms of colors and in terms of names for colors that you may have not thought to use. So for example, maybe rather than saying that you're creating a red scarf, you could look here and see different names like candy apple red, scarlet, Ferrari red, neon scarlet. And not only that, but you also have the hex codes for these colors. Now, this is a valuable tool for me personally because when I went to compare some colors, maybe I'm trying to think of branding for my shop or some branding colors that are going to go along with the feeling that I'm creating within my shop. For me, I use black, gray, and white for my branding colors, but maybe you create some type of really fun bubblegum bath and body products and you want to do some colors that fall more into the magenta and pink colors. Maybe you could click on a few of these different colors and compare and find the color that's going to match your branding really well. Or maybe you can use these words to describe your products. Or maybe you can look at these colors and think, wow, I could make a product in these colors. You know, there's so many things that you could do with this color thesaurus. Personally, I would use these to, you know, in my branding, trying to find colors that are going to match my branding style, because with my branding, I actually keep it simple with the black, gray, and white color scale, which we see down here. But, you know, you could really compare colors, get the hex codes for those colors, and always know the names of the colors that you're wanting to use in your branding. Or if you're just, you know, trying to find some great synonyms for some of the colors that you use. So, you know, maybe I have some orange products. I would never think to call my orange, you know, royal orange, but this might be something that I could use. Next tool that we have is the profit calculator. Now, most of you know that for me, I don't do these, you know, pricing calculators. I follow what Renee Christine, the queen of the handmade industry, she always taught me to price in the top 10% of my niche or my industry. So for me, I don't particularly use a calculator like this. However, if it's something that you're interested in, it might be something that you want to incorporate in. So maybe we'll say that our product is, we'll say it's $55, and we'll say that the price to ship it is $5. Now, if you wanted to throw in some labor cost, maybe you only charge, like, maybe you're incorporating $2 into your labor cost, and maybe your materials cost you $3 to make the product. And maybe the shipping cost of the product itself is maybe $4.50, and you just gave yourself the $5 leeway. That way you have some handling fees. Then you can choose the payment method. We will do the direct checkout for now, and let's just calculate real quick. So we can see that this product would have a profit margin of $46. So you're showing exactly how much you're going to make on this product. So this might be a tool that you want to look at, especially if you're stuck on pricing and you want to look at exactly how much you're making on those products. We switch this over to PayPal. We can click here, do it again, and there's just a slight difference, but nothing devastating here. Next tool we have is the calendar. I love this tool. So we can see Cyber Monday is here. We've done in past that. Our next big days are Christmas, which is of course a US postal holiday. I love it. These are on here. That way we know that because it's a US postal holiday, you cannot expect there to be any shipping on that day. And then we have Kwanzaa and Boxing Day, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. This is a really, really great idea, especially when you're planning sales. The next tab, guys, I can't go in detail with, unfortunately, because I actually just activated my sales reports, and this information is not accurate at all. Looking here, I've only sold 103 items since I've opened my shop, and we look here, and I have over 5,000, almost 6,000 sales. So these have not yet updated just because I added this feature today. I should have done that last week before I did this. That way these results would be more accurate. But basically, when you enter this in, you're gonna want to give it a little bit of time, it seems, to kind of register these, but you can kind of see how you compare through the weeks. You can see how you compared to yesterday, the last 7 days, this month. None of these are very accurate right now because I'm looking here and it's saying that last month I only made almost $2,000, and last month I don't want to throw out any numbers, but I made a lot, dramatically more than this. So I don't want to get anybody down about their sales numbers. That's why I try to not talk about specific numbers. But this just shows me that this information needs to update. And once again, I don't want to get into my specific numbers because I don't want to discourage anyone. But basically what this tool is going to do is it's going to let you see your best sellers. You can check out historical for some of your daily sales, daily orders. You can actually use this to see what day in particular your products are selling. So maybe you make a lot of sales on Fridays, or maybe on Fridays you actually hold a lot of sales or discounts or coupons that are valid on that day. You know, it just kind of gives you an idea of what days you do better. You can do an evaluation of today, yesterday, the last 7 days, this month. I really like this tool, and I can't wait until it updates, honestly, because I'm very interested to see the difference between these, because as I said, these numbers are absolutely not accurate at all right now, but I think that's just because I just now enabled this feature and it hasn't had the time to kind of register these reports. So it even says the sales reports are updated every 24 hours. Some data may be missing from this report. Next up, we have a market report. This is basically some market research. Pretty much what you're seeing here is Etsy's reach. So we look here and we can see how it compares to sites like Amazon, eBay, AliExpress, Alibaba, and Etsy is way down here, unfortunately, but that's okay, guys, because honestly, I don't want to be on a site like Alibaba where pricing is, you know, you're trying to have the lowest price, or eBay where people are trying to get a lower price for the products. When it comes to my products, I don't want to be looped into the mass produced, and I love Etsy because it's so niche and because it's so small, and I found a lot of success on Etsy, so I don't really get discouraged when it comes to things like this. Ultimately, if you're sending traffic to your shop, you know, not just through SEO, but through external marketing, an email list, social media, and anywhere else that you're directing traffic to your shop, you're going to find success on Etsy. So don't get too hung up on this. But if you're interested in just kind of seeing where Etsy is as a whole, you know, not your shop in particular, but Etsy as a platform, this is a really cool techie tab that you can jump into. Now you can also see the percentage of users by country, and you can see, you know, where they're coming from. Obviously, the United States is going to be the majority of that. And you can check how Etsy compares to other sites in terms of reach. Next up, we can see what's currently trending on Etsy. That's super exciting. We can see the average tags used, average words in their tags, average title length, description length, and then we can see what tags, styles, occasions like weddings, and materials are currently popular on Etsy. Next up, we have your website report. Now guys, keep in mind, I'm currently building a website with Architect, and right now what you're seeing is my really cruddy Weebly site that I kind of threw up as a play saver a few years ago before I really knew anything about building websites. I'm a little bit more seasoned now, but this website still exists while I'm working on my new website, so that's why you can see this down here. But we can view that, you know, it's not showing me a great result for mobile in my mobile preview, and it kind of just shows you how cruddy it really is to build a, you know, cheap web builder on Weebly or, you know, another site like that, where you just can't really have any control over what you're able to do in terms of dimension, mobile views, and things like that. So there are a few external links that way you can actually check to see if your site is mobile friendly, the mobile speed. These are external tools, but it's something interesting that you might want to check out, especially if you have an e-commerce site where you're selling products on your site along with your Etsy storefront. Next tab we have is social report. We actually kind of covered this in the previous video, but we can see how many more hearts we have, Facebook likes, Twitter followers. It looks like I actually lost 2 Twitter followers, but and I also lost a Pinterest follower. Oh no! And it shows that my Instagram followers have increased by the same number that I have. So I think that this must have just like recently updated, but it's just a good way to check and see where you are and, you know, how you're doing on social media. Maybe because I lost some Twitter followers, it means that I posted something that they don't like, or maybe I need to get some more pins up on Pinterest. It just kind of gives you a basic idea. And lastly, we have some color trends. We've got most popular. These are sourced from Bing. So gold, coffee, Oh my goodness, you guys, I actually looked it up and coffee is a color that is trending right now. We can actually look at some of the names that are trending right now of colors. And you can actually get the hex codes for those. This might be really, really valuable if you create any digital products or printable products where you actually have to have those hex codes to design the product. And then we can actually look at the searches for those colors. All right, alphas, I know that this video has taken a really long time to get out there, and I do apologize for that. Black Friday, I cannot describe to you how stressful it's been. In fact, I wanted to create a video going over Black Friday and how I did and, you know, the packing process, but it was so crazy. I won't talk about the actual revenue that my shop made, but it was over 200 sales, and I gift wrap every single product. Most of those sales had more than one key in them. All of those had to be customized. Let me just say it basically took a whole week of me and my husband working nonstop, packing, customizing, messaging customers. It was crazy, but we finally got finished. I was able to get this video done, and I apologize for the delay, but ultimately, if I did not maintain my Etsy shop, I wouldn't be able to give you good advice about how you can maintain yours. I thank you guys for your patience. If you're here for the first time, or if you're watching this series and you're new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe. I release videos usually every week. Last week was a slow period simply because I had to maintain my Etsy shop for Black Friday. However, I'm going to be working on tons of new videos in the coming weeks. Two more amazing resources for you guys are going to be linked down below. First resource is the Handmade Alpha VIPs. This is how I'm going to be able to email you all of my free goodies, and right when you sign up, you will get my free ebook on how to gain a fanatical following of fans on Facebook by hosting giveaways. Now, ultimately, this is how I have gained over 25,000 Facebook likes. This is an extremely effective tactic, and it's working for so many of our Handmade Alphas that have been messaging me and thanking me for this amazing freebie that you will receive right when you sign up. So that will be down below. The second resource is the Handmade Alpha Facebook community. This is a free community that you can join, chat with our Handmade Alphas, and get help from other people within the Etsy community. Something we commonly see are Etsy sellers who have questions, or, you know, maybe, oh, I'm trying to think of two different logos. Do you like this one or this one? And this is a great place where you can do this. There's only 2 rules to my group. No advertising your product, so no trying to jump in and just sell things. Education only. And rule number 2, be nice and obviously be caring and respectful of your other alphas. So it's a very, very chill group. While you're at it, guys, down in the comments, let me know what you think of Etsy Rank. Let me know if there's anything that you think should be added to this tool, anything that it's missing, anything that you would like to see in the future. All of these suggestions I can pass on to Anthony. That way he can improve this tool and make it more effective for everyone. I'd also love to hear if you decided to get that pro membership. How are you liking it? Are you enjoying it? How does it compare to Marmalade? All right, Alphas, I hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving. We are going to have so much more fun for the holiday season. I cannot wait. Thanks so much for watching, Alphas, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video.